Hi, everybody. So I'm excited to talk about something that I'm planning for an upcoming event, my kind of a birthday get together. Uh, I'm really excited to do a chaos draft with my friends. So I've been planning this for a while, and I thought I'd just run through kind of how I'm going to do it and what I've done to prepare for it. And I'd love to hear any feedback, ideas on how to maybe, improve upon my plan, or, if this gives you some ideas for doing your own. Hopefully it's helpful. So let's get into it. So the first thing I had to do was collect a bunch of packs. And I think I've got collected about 42 different packs from Magic the Gathering. So we can just go through these packs so you guys can check them out and tell me if I've made good picks, or if I'm missing something that I really should have, or if I have a good variety. I have this land station here which I bought a while back for another draft event. Obviously you need basic lands for whatever drafting you're going to do, and you probably have a lot, or you can get them from your LGS, or buy them pretty easily. But the land station is fine. You can get it. It has all the lands that you need. So it's not a bad little product. So what I did was I took all the packs that I made, or I got, acquired, collected, and I just made a list. And then I made cards here so you can see what we're going to do for the chaos draft is everybody's going to pick cards, and so they're going to get their choice that way. I guess you don't want a blank one. Wild card? No, I don't think so. Anyway, so you get a sense of some of the packs that I have here, but I'm going to go through them all real quick. But I just wanted to show you these cards because this is what I'm going to do. I thought about using dice to select packs, some different methods like that. But I think this is the fastest and simplest way to do it. And I think that'll be fun. So I might come back to those later. But okay, so look at this. So we got Zendikar Rising draft booster, Zendikar Rising set booster. So I basically picked up packs that I found, I saw along the way. This one's kind of open. I don't know. I'm not really too worried about it. But probably just wear and tear. But Ikoria is really cool. New Capenna. We got Lorwyn. So I got pretty much all the more recent sets. Last Caverns of Ixalan. So some of these were just ones I collected as I bought, some boxes or whatever. But also just as I saw them available for purchase, I just pick them up. We got the Foundations, Secrets of Strixhaven, Theros Beyond Death. And I wanted to have some that were, kind of unknown to me. Duskmourn, and would be maybe a little bit less familiar, or a little bit lost in time from where what we're used to, just to mix things up. We got the Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, Ravnica Remastered. Was able to pick up some of these remastered packs, which I think should be cool. Blue Burrow, Thunder Junction, Edge of Eternities, wonderful. So I started playing back in, I think, over 94, when like around Revised and Legends had just come out. And then I kind of stopped playing around the time I think Visions came out. So that was probably in the late 90s. That's kind of when I stopped buying cards, I think. And so then I pretty much took a break from Magic at that point. And unfortunately, like in the early 2000s, just for rent money or something like that. I sold all my dual lands. I sold my like Force of Wills. I sold, anything at the time that was like Birds of Paradise, anything at the time that was like kind of valuable. I think dual lands were going for like $20 at the time. Yeah, so, you know, you kick yourself. But, that was way back when. And so I've since come back to the game and probably started playing. Well, I played Magic Online through, kind of the middle times, which was really fun. But I was like spending so much money, and they kind of hooked me in with the idea that you could collect a set and get the cards, but it turned out it was really hard and janky to try to collect a set. They had some weird like janky ticket system that you had to go through, to trade cards and buy cards. And, it was a hard thing to collect a full set. I don't know how many people actually cashed those out, but it was fun. So we're going to do 2 Assassin's Creed boosters just because it's last 7 cards in these. So these are really cool. I like them. But, if you draw this one, you'll get 2, which is actually kind of a windfall because you get 2 rares in there probably and no commons. So that'll be a nice set. Dominaria Remastered looks really cool. Got a few core sets in here that I was able to pick up. Modern Horizons 3 is a really powerful one. If you draw that one, you'll be happy. So, yeah, so then I was like, oh my God, I'm spending so much money. I got a couple Jumpstart boosters in here, which are fun because, then you have to like, it's going to be one color, so that'll be interesting. Magic Origins, I'm like, what is that? But yeah, I was like spending so much money in the drafting online. It was a lot of fun, but I was just like, wow, I'm just spending so much money and I'm not getting any cards, nothing that I can keep or play with. So I kind of quit that. And then I think I heard about Arena, probably all the time. I think it was like Kaldheim, Ikoria, Theros around that time. And started playing on Arena, which was great because it was, basically free to play. And, just a lot of fun to kind of jump back in and start getting familiar with the sets again and playing. And that was a lot of fun. So yeah, so there's all the packs. I remember Forgotten Realms had just come out when I first started looking at and buying singles again. And I was like, oh my God, they're bringing Dungeons and Dragons into Magic. And I had also started paying attention to Dungeons and Dragons because I wanted to start playing D&D again. And I started, getting back together with some of my friends that I used to play with in high school, play Magic and D&D and stuff. And we started getting back into it. It was really cool. But yeah, it was funny. I was like, well, they made 4th edition, or I should say 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons more like Magic, where you had like abilities or, like it was almost like having a hand of cards. And then I was like, oh, now they're putting Dungeons and Dragons into Magic. And I mean, it all makes sense when you think about it. It was just a little weird to me at the time. And, now seeing all the, Universes Beyond stuff, and I just threw these in this Avatar box. This Avatar Commander bundle was really cool, honestly. I got quite a few of these because it was just such a good buy. And the reprints in this were amazing. So I think the value was really great. They're a little, if you could get them at retail, that was obviously the best. But now I actually have a video, an opening of one of those. So I will post that up at some point. And just show you like what I got out of that. That was a lot of fun. Just haven't gotten to it yet. So yeah, so that's all the packs. We've got a lot of packs. So what we're going to do here is everybody's going to draw. It's going to be a 6-player draft, I think, if everybody shows up. And we're going to draw 3 packs each. So we'll just go around. And I think a lot of the fun of this is, drawing the pack, seeing what you get, And then, and then we're going to do what's called a Rochester draft. And I chose that for this because I just think it's part of the fun of this is experiencing the packs, experiencing the cards, the randomness of it, and just having fun with it that way. And so Rochester draft is really cool because everybody sees all the cards. You lay them out, you talk about them. Everybody drafts out of the same, open. And so that's my plan. We're gonna do Rochester draft. It's gonna be pick 2, so there'll be 6 people, and I'll show you. I made a little sketch of how I thought we could go around. So we would just roll. I'm gonna try to do everything randomly, so that just make it more chaotic, as chaotic as possible. And so there'll be 6 seats, and the idea is we'll roll a die to see which seat we get. So that way I don't think anybody can complain, oh, I got a bad seat or whatever. Everything's random. So I would not expect anyone to understand this diagram. I'll try to give a little explanation. It was more for my own reference than anything else. And if you guys have ideas about a better way to do this, I thought about it, but I didn't want to overthink it. And, there may be better ways to go. But so basically you've got your seats here. And then A is the first person that opens their pack. And then you go around the table. So the first person that opens their first pack that we selected randomly using the cards that I showed you earlier. So everybody will pick 3 cards and determine which packs they get. There are 3 packs. So the first person will open their pack, and then the next person, they'll pick 2. And so they'll get according to their opinion, the best 2 cards out of it. And then the next person will get 2, 2, 2, and you just go around the table like that. And then there's going to be 13 cards, playable cards. So the person whose pack it was is going to get the last card regardless. So they get 3 cards out of each pack. So then I thought, okay, well then we're going to go to the right. So now the next person pack, and then same pattern, right? Go around, and then next we go over here. Same thing. So I don't know if you can follow this, but it probably looks like a spider's web or something. But anyway, so the idea is so hopefully that'll make it somewhat fair as far as the picking goes. And then I think when we get to the last, then you would start at the other end and go back. I think that's how it'll go. So that's the plan as far as the drafting goes. And my idea with this is we got some people that are kind of newer players to draft, and some people that are old hands, some people that know the cards, some people that don't. So I look at it as this is just for fun. It's not super competitive. I bought all the packs. Basically I'm putting the thing on. So all the cards that we play with, all the packs that we open and play with, those are going to be my cards. It's my birthday, so happy birthday to me. And so that one of the good things about that, though, is then people aren't drafting based on wanting to keep the cards. The idea is you just want to draft on what is going to be the best card for your deck or your strategy, and not worry about value or whatever, because I'm keeping them all. So, and then also, I'm going to just kind of discourage hate drafting. We're going to do random matchups. So it's not like who you're going to go up against. So you're going to hate draft against them or something like that. And I just want it to be a fun environment where people are like, hey, this would be, you're going in these colors. You should take those. You might not know this card, but that's a really good one. You should take that. So more helping each other out. That's kind of my vision for it. I think that's how it'll play out. More almost like a cooperative thing as far as the drafting goes. And so everybody's gonna draft their decks, and get their random pack. So that'll be exciting to see. I'm going to have a Mystery Booster 2 pack in there too, which is going to be really fun because I was able to get the Amsterdam Festival in a Box kit. So that's coming. So that'll be cool. I'll be able to throw a Mystery Booster 2 pack in there. And I'll be making a video opening that too. So look out for that. So that should be really fun to look at. So that's kind of the draft strategy. And then, so once we draft and everybody's going to, get their 17 lands and their, put their decks together. And then I'm thinking we're going to do 3 rounds. And so we'll do a random matchup. And then I think the way with 6 players, I think the best way to do it is the 2 winners of the first round play each other, and then the other winner, because there'll be 3 winners and 3 losers in the first round, the other winner will play one of the losers randomly. So that's kind of how, you just, if there's a decision to be made, we'll just make it randomly. So, and then if there's any like big bangers that we pull out of these packs, if there's something super spicy that I just don't want to be played with, I don't want to take the time sleeving things and stuff like that. We'll just use one of these tokens just to replace, and I'll pull it out if there's anything like super valuable. That's my game plan on that. So yeah, so then I think we'll do 3 rounds, and ultimately the winner will have the most wins. If there needs to be a tiebreaker, we'll do a tiebreaker. It could go a little weird if you had, a certain scenario where a bunch of people had 2 wins and 1 loss or something like that. But we'll just address that as it comes up. And, it's not going to be perfect. There might be a little messiness. So, we might not get 6 players. We might end up with 5 or something like that. And, we'll figure it out. But, it's just fun. It's just having fun opening all these old packs and seeing what you get. And if we got anything crazy, and just having a fun time drafting. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. If you guys have any suggestions, or, if you've done this before, or, any questions about, how we're going to do this, I'll probably make a follow-up video just talking about it. I doubt I'll probably try to take some pictures in the draft process, so that I can do maybe a little slideshow or something like that. I think, actually recording it and, trying to do a video of it would just kind of take away from the fun of it and probably slow it down. So, yeah. So anyway, yeah, so I just wanted to share that with you guys, and I'm looking forward to hearing any comments or ideas that you'll have. I think it's a really fun thing to do. You don't have to do it as big or as elaborate as I'm talking about. You don't have to have all these packs. So, and since we have more packs, for 6, you only need 16 packs, or 18 packs technically. So then we'll do prize packs. So I don't need any prize packs because I'm just going to keep all the cards that we play with. So whoever has, if I'm the big winner, I won't take any prizes. If the next person, they'll either get like 2 packs or 3 packs. I guess it depends on what we have left over. And then I think, runner up maybe gets 2 packs, and then everybody else gets a pack to open. It's just a surprise, and they didn't have to pay for anything. Everybody had a fun time, and we all got to play with a whole bunch of cards we've never played with before, probably. And yeah, it just should be a blast. So, yeah, really looking forward to it. Love to hear any ideas or feedback y'all have. And I will do a follow-up and tell you how it turned out. So thanks for hanging out. Thanks for subscribing and liking my videos. I really appreciate hopefully getting a following here and people to chat with about Magic. And so, all right, have a good one.